Welcome back, guys. So today I want to talk about the Dreamcade Replay Kickstarter. Something a lot of people are excited about, myself included. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in it to win it. I want to see this thing come to fruition, but I am skeptical and I have some concerns. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Okay, guys, so the Dreamcade Replay, the Raspberry Pi Retro Pi killer, the end all be all. Well, it's not really the end all be all, but for many little systems that you can move around, put in your living room, not have to have a whole PC gaming rig set up to play your retro games, this is a pretty awesome looking option, but I have some concerns and issues, and they stem from a few different things. One of them is going to be price point. This thing is $99. If you don't want the controller, which I would recommend if you're somebody like me who probably has like 3 dozen controllers lying around, USB, Bluetooth, hey, just get the system without the controller. But my concern with that is $99. That sounds too low for what they're delivering. Essentially, the Dreamcade Replay is a VORC version 1 mini PC. They've pretty much said it themselves, which there is no issue with that. I'm not complaining. I fully, agree with them using hardware, that's capable of doing what they want to do and then customizing it, which is what it appears to be that they're doing. But it is essentially a VORC version 1. They both share the same specs, mostly. The readily available VORC version 1s that are out there right now, the lower cost ones, they typically come with 64 gigabytes of storage versus the Dreamcade has 32 gigabytes. So that's the only real difference I'm seeing as far as specifications. The Dreamcade does have an asterisk, attached. Hey, some of these specifications may change, so who knows? Nothing is final, but they may have to change some things, but essentially they share the same setup. 2.2 gigahertz Intel processor, 4 gigs of RAM, Windows 10, Bluetooth capable, expansion slots, USB slots, blah, 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 Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and then that storage. And you can expand upon it as well, which is still a cool deal. So essentially there's that. Now, an everyday person like me or you who's not in the business of ordering in large quantities and getting things customized and built for a purpose to sell, we're not going to get the price that they can get. There's no mistake about it. That's not what this concern is. But the lowest price I can get a VORC version 1 for without doing 3 hours of digging is going to be around $150. Readily available. Anybody can get one for about $150 from China. Not a crazy bad deal, but most of these mini PCs in this range of specifications go for anywhere between $150 to $200. So what my concern with their price is that they're selling this for $100. Now, if they're getting these mass-produced VORC version 1s, if they were to just grab a literal shit ton of them, no customization, they just load their software on it, I could see the $100 price point. But there's an issue with that. They're not just selling VORC version 1s, they're having them customized, they're adding their software. You have that Windows 10 license, which, we all know you can get around that and get it for next to nothing, but it does cost something if you're legitimately getting a license. Then their custom case, which does look pretty cool. The custom case costs money. To have their branding on there costs money. To have their packaging branded costs money. I don't know what their packaging is going to look like. They could just ship this to everybody in a brown box. Who knows? But there's going to be some costs behind this, and I'm worried that their $100 price point is too low for what they're doing. That's one of my biggest concerns. Another concern is their profit margin. Now, with this being $100, a company that's in business doesn't typically work off of having an item that they only make 5 to 10% profit off of, unless they have loss leaders and stuff like that, and they have a ton of products that either complement each other, stuff like that. But that's more retail. That's not a company who's selling a product. That's more of a retail thing. So I'm worried what their profit margins are on this. At $100, what are they pulling in after all the work they've put into it, all the money that they have put into it, the software that they're using, that they've developed, their front end, their game scanning application, all that kind of stuff costs money. So that's another concern. Are they going to be able to deliver on the promises that they've made, or are they in over their heads? That's a huge concern. Another thing that I'm concerned with is the features of this system, more so their front end, because just the Windows 10 machine, I could buy this from them, have a $100 machine, and load other stuff on it, just wipe the whole machine, do whatever I want with it. Anybody can. But what I'm concerned with, because that's not what we're buying this thing for. We're buying it because of the Dreamcade replay front end, how it's set up, all the work they've put into it, meant for retro gaming. That's why we're buying it. But I'm still concerned with the features of it. Are they going to work as promised? You have a download search function. Is that going to be limited to just free games? Stuff that's just there's no licensing behind it. Is it going to be a bunch of crappy games, homebrew stuff like that? I don't know. Are we just going to be able to go on there and search for Nintendo games and download everything? I don't know. I can understand them being vague about that, and that's not really the concern, but I'm just concerned with, can we sideload games, which I'm sure 100% you can. They're not going to advertise that. Is the software that's integrated into the system using, from what they have stated, other people's search functions within their software, within their emulators, stuff like that, open source, blah, 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 all that garbage. Is that going to be something that just gets shut down at some point? At no fault the Dreamcade, but is it something that whoever is running that service, just it doesn't work anymore, and now the Dreamcade can't do anything? Their front end can't do anything anymore? Is their scanning cart technology going to get abolished by somebody that finds some kind of loophole in it, and then it becomes widespread that, hey, this is used for nefarious, purposes, stuff like that? Are some of their features risk getting shut down because some of their features are not their own? It's just integrated from other open source, software that's available that they're going to use. So that's a concern. Their vagueness on a lot of these issues is a concern. They've been very vague concerning things. Their licensing, which they already had an issue, and their Kickstarter got pulled down, then put back up because of a licensing issue. Their legal reviews. So I've seen them talk about this stuff, and I don't understand what they're saying. So licensing, they've stated, and I've seen this in a comment in a couple places actually, that they don't have the licensing yet because they can't sign the contracts until they know how many units they're going to sell after the Kickstarter's done. So is that it? The Kickstarter, you're not making anymore? You have to know an exact number? You're not going to produce more to sell through your website? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. It's just odd to me. On your website, it says, hey, if you want to get it for the lower price, go through Kickstarter, get this shit now, $99, whatever. You're going to save yourself $20-$40 because after the Kickstarter, it sounds like you're still going to sell them like you should, but you're going to sell them for a higher price, which is what a lot of people do through Kickstarter. It's just the way it happens. So I don't understand that thing with the licensing issues. You guys say on the Kickstarter, on the website, the systems, there's 24 systems, 100 games each. What's the licensing behind that? We have streaming free games. And then when you look at the list, there's games like Donkey Kong listed. There's games that, do you have the license for that? Or are you going through a streaming service who has the license for that and you are licensed to use that on your system? I don't understand it. It's kind of vague. I know what I'm going to be able to do with this system. I know what you guys are going to be able to do with this system, but I just have these fears. You know, they're saying when their Kickstarter's over, they're going to be going through some legal reviews and all that kind of stuff. And they've already gone through some legal reviews to get their Kickstarter back up. You know, so it's like you have to be vague with this Kickstarter and with this product to avoid any kind of, you know, actions against you. The Dreamcade is being sold as a system without ROMs. Do with it as you want, but there's just all those concerns that I just mentioned. The other thing is, you know, Kickstarter, you're guaranteed nothing. Doesn't matter how much money the Kickstarter makes, you're not guaranteed a damn thing. In this Kickstarter for the Dreamcade, it does state, in case of project cancellation, 100% refunds will be given. Pause. If possible. So they're covering themselves right there. If this does not come to fruition, or if it comes to the point where it's like, holy crap, this actually costs us $150 to produce, not just the product, but the time spent into it, the software development. If it winds up costing more than what they're selling it for, do you expect them to deliver that to us? I don't. That's stupid. I'm hoping that they've been around for a long time. They know what they're doing with certain things, but with this, I'm just looking at the price point is my main concern, is that it's being overambitious for what it is, and I have this fear that they're not going to make a profit off of it, and they're going to realize that once everything is said and done. Licensing, you know, the attorney costs, legal fees, all the crap that they have to go through. I have a fear that the $100 price point is just not going to work for them, and they're going to be in over their heads and just screwed and bail out on us. I don't think they want to do that. That's not what their goal is. I don't think they have any kind of mischievous thoughts of screwing anybody over. I fully think that they want to deliver this product to everybody who wants it, but those are my concerns. I don't know what else to say about it, you know. I just wanted to share my opinion on this. I've backed this, but I'm this close to backing out of backing just because of these concerns. I'm scared, but I'm hopeful. I want this thing to come to fruition and be everything I hope it could be, and hope that it is, because it looks awesome. So I really am hoping and wishing that everything works out for you in the end, Dreamcade, because I want my system from you guys for the $116 with shipping. But I'm fearful. So I hope you can understand that. Appreciate you guys watching. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'll catch you guys next time. Boom!